Hello everyone, Pockets here, back again playing some more EVE Online, and we are back once again on Bozontos, our day 1 alpha. So I haven't done any training. I did queue up CPU management skills, CPU management 5, and we are going to use that at some point. What I wanted to do today is take a look at a fit. This is going to be the first in a series of like kind of Malro specific. I'm going to leave it out for everybody. It could certainly be of help to everybody, but this is going to be stuff that we do internally to help new Malro players do things. So the first up is a new alpha emerging Praxis. This is a fit. It was made by Phoenix. So thank you, Phoenix. This is your fit. And we're going to use it with Bozontos, and we're going to go over the fit, and then we're going to discuss a couple things, because Bozo has some skills that are different than... So there's kind of two ways you can approach this Praxis, and we'll take a look at that. It's the way I want to say that. So let's take a look at the fit first. And you'll notice a few things, and we'll point those out. So in the highs, 5 rapid light missile launchers. You'll notice there's 2 empty slots here. In Phoenix's fit, these are for the salvager ones, but we can't fit them on Bozo, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So 5 rapid light missile launchers, the Arblasts. I have Keldari Navy, but depending on which way you go with your fit and with your skills, you may just want to use T1 ammo. Bozo could just use T1. And we'll talk, because he's focused on drones, and we'll talk about that in a second. Republic Fleet Large Capacitor Battery. This is the expensive bit. The Pith A-Type Extra Large Shield Boost is about 200 to 300 million, but it is necessary. 3 Adaptive Invulnerability Fields. This will bring up our shield resists. Again, you could fit damage specifics, but this should let us tank pretty much indefinitely, and that's kind of key. It's going to be a slow run. It's not going to be fast, but it's going to get the job done. And then 2 Stalwart Particle Field Accelerators. This gets us, and we'll look at PYFA in a minute, but this gets a really good shield recharge. In this case, 3 Damage Control Amplifiers, which works with us. Again, we could maybe switch that out, but this seems to be the best way to go, is to going drones. And then 4 Capacitor Flux Coil 2s, 2 large Capacitor Control Circuit 2s, and a large Capacitor Control Circuit 1. So if we get rid of, let's minimize this and slide this over. And let's look at PYFA for a second. So it's kind of a tutorial, more of a tutorial-y thing. So here's PYFA, great little tool. If you don't know how to use it, take a look at it, start playing with it. I'm not amazing at it, but one day maybe I will do a guide. But this is the fit as it is. This is on, we're going to start with Bozontos. So there's our direct export. Let's refresh it, make sure to make changes. This is exported from the game, so it matches the skills I have in-game. And it shows us the numbers with math involved. So you can see there's the 5 Arblasts with the... If we scroll this over a little, you can see it has... you can't really see. It's got Keldari Navy ammo already fit. So it fits. We are cap stable at 42%. You'll actually, if you review it, look at the in-game. If I slide this over even just a little more... It says only 14%, but it doesn't factor in a few other things that are necessary. I don't know what they are and why there's a difference, but the PYFA tool seems to be more accurate. Actually, let's just make sure I have everything turned on. Yeah, everything's turned on. Okay. So what's next? So you can see our resist profiles. This shows us with the actual profile, so 68.9, whereas the in-game rounds it up to 69. Not that huge of a deal, but it does matter. This is our effective EHP, so this factors in our resist. The in-game tool says 351, but it doesn't factor in our 69% resists. So we're actually getting 1130 EHP per second. So that's pretty sweet. That should be plenty to face tank even the hardest spawn. You may want to focus on, because we can tank it, focus on starvings first, just to make sure that they don't, because this is stable without being nuded, so we want to get rid of the nudes. So that lets us permatank. DPS is a little low. I get 291. 219 comes from drones, because we have the drone damage amplifiers. And Bozo is drone focused, and we will look at that. So then the 4 capacitors. What else is important here? Max target's 5. The cost is 550. That's about what it says here. I think I paid a little less than that in Jita today. I already had a lot of the stuff, so I can't really say, but we can pump it in. That's about right. I have it set to Jita, so 550 is about what you're going to pay for this. And half of that is this. You can see it's 237 million. But if you're going to do these, you're going to do them. So the other option is to go with a more missile-focused fit. I wouldn't recommend this, but we could do the emerging alpha here. I don't want to change it, but then you could swap these out for missile damage. The only problem is we have a limited range, so 16, and the reload time on the missiles. So I wouldn't go with this fit. If you want to go missiles, it's actually pretty simple. Let's bring up EVEMon. So this is a skill plan for just a fresh alpha. You can see it's under 1,000,000 SP, so you could train this way and get the fit and use your missiles. It would still work, and the only difference really between the two, if you don't change anything else, is you do one more DPS. You do 9 less with the drones and 10 more with your missiles. So you do 1 DPS more if you go with the missile skill plan over dropping it for the drone plan. And basically all that entails, so we look at it, is we have, so it's under 1,000,000. You can do this day 1. You just make a fresh character, load the skill plan in, and jump into the Praxis if you can get the 500 million to buy one. For Malrovians, I'm going to, after this video, this one's going to go into the members hangar for people to borrow. So if you want to try it out, go nuts. Just put it back when you're done. Use it to make some ISK and then put it back so the next guy can use it. I would like to eventually have a few of these so more than one person can use them. You guys can team up. But I'm going to start with 1. The only difference really is you drop these missile skills, rapid launch and warhead upgrades, which will lower your missile DPS, and you add drone skills. We're going to go to medium. Now, Bozo does have light drone skills. You don't need those for this. We're going to do medium drone operation to 4. And that's really all that's going to change between the two characters. You can see we're still under the 1,000,000 SP, so you could train it this way. And the only other thing I would recommend adding in here is Cybernetics 2. We'll talk about that looking at PYFA. So that's the 2 ways you can go. You can go with the missile fit. You can go with the drone fit. What I will do is maybe I'll export both of them as EFTs and I'll put them on our Dropbox and I'll share those out to the people. I'll put them as text files, something. I'll put them up for you guys if you want them. Rambling on, let's move on. So the other thing is, the first thing I'd want to do is add in the 2 salvagers. If the whole point is to make money, you may not care about time. Now, in my opinion, not salvaging and running the sites faster works out to be a little better if you get good loot drops, but the salvage helps build things and it can help, especially if there's 3 of you. How come that did not... There it is, salvager, not salvagers. So 2 T1 salvagers, you can see it no longer fits, just we're over by 38. So what you need to do is, we'll do it with Bozo, because it doesn't matter, it's the same thing, he doesn't have these skills either, is you want to change your capacitor management skill to 5. This is like a 9-day train. So that would be like, put that in the queue, that's why Bozo has it in the queue. And that still doesn't quite fit, so you want to switch this up to a 3 instead of a 1. Right now it's the 1 because it's super cheap. If we switch it up to a 3 and we train to 5, why did that not do it? Did I change the wrong one? I didn't change it. Okay. Capacitor to level 5. Do that. There we go. So it just fits with the 2 salvagers. So you could also full salvage the room. Or you could add another missile launcher in here, but since I went the drone route, the missile launcher is not going to add all that much. And that does require Cybernetics 2, but Cybernetics 2 does fit in the initial 1,000,000, so I didn't include it. I can show you that here. So if we go to skill browser, we go to cyber, we go cybernetics, train to 2, because it starts at 1, or here already, yeah, it starts at 1. It still fits within the 1,000,000, so you could just throw that one in there and get the 0.3 fitting implant, and then you just gotta wait the 9 days. CCP is also, we're gonna have to go through it, but there's some new player, you know, your first weeks of a play, there's some daily login stuff that might help, so we'll look at that. You could potentially be able to fly this Praxis by the time you finish the tutorial. So we're going to try this out. The other thing I do want to do, let me minimize this guy. So that works. I will upload the fitting, and I'll upload both skill plans for people to use. I'll put links to those in the description of the video. They'll probably be just in the skill plans will be in a Dropbox, and I'll make them available in text and EVEMon formats, but that might take me a minute to set up. If I forget, yell at me and I will get it done for you guys. But let's try out this fit and we'll talk a little bit more about some plans going forward. So stand by, I'll find us a site. Okay, so once again, since this is more of a tutorial, if you guys want to know how to find the sites, you use your agency window. If this isn't here, just look up here under Activities, Agency, go to Exploration tab, Combat Anomalies. Let's get our, while we're doing that, I can do this. We need that. This should be permanently run, but we're going to put it here. This will be permanently run. Okay. And drones. I do have 10 Fed Navies. That's the other thing I forgot to say. It's Fed Navy Hammerheads. So you don't have to train for Tech 2. So that's important. We're going to put those into the Hammerhead bin. You can only play 5 at a time, obviously, but we brought 10 in case we lose one. All right. So once you're in here, you can kind of see the sites will tell you how many anomalies there are and what they are. If it's within one jump, they'll tell you what they are. That's nice. I should go run that. For example, Velor has, it says 13. There should only be 1. If you see more than 1, that actually means that they're likely being run because they don't despawn from here until you enter the system. Then this should all go away. So Irimi, like this probably has them being run. Orville probably has them being run. Castleman probably has them being run. But we'll find some sites. But that's how you do it. You can just find where they are, go take a look. We might get lucky in one of those sites. But let me just go find us a site and we will get this run. I didn't pre-try this. I'm taking Phoenix's word for it that this works. So if this doesn't work, I probably flew it wrong because he's been using them, he's been handing them out, and they've been working for other people. So one of the things to do is the pre-warp. So you get on site, you warp closer to the hole. That just saves you some time tractoring in Rex and getting your application. It also puts you closer to the targets so your drones are less likely to take aggro. If your drones fly out to their maximum range and you're not shooting, the NPCs will turn on your drones and kill them really fast, so you want to keep everything kind of close. And we're going to do full loot because you want to get the surveys. That's where the ISK is. So you get, soloing it, you get 4.5 million minus taxes for clearing the site, and then you get surveys. And these surveys, so we have an MTU that's part of the fit. I included it in the price of the fit. The surveys go for, you can take them to a dead site and you can get just the surveys. If you do nothing else with them, you can get 100,000 ISK minus taxes per survey. So, you know, if you get 18 surveys, that's 1.8 million. And you run a day. I mean, I run these for a little bit. I get 100, 200 million easy running it for like an hour in just surveys. It's pretty awesome. Well, 100 million maybe if I run it for an hour solid. Let's check this emerging site. Is it close enough for D-scan? It is. I don't see anything on grid that'd be running it, so that's good. It might be just outside. Yeah, it's just outside. We gotta wait a second. Once we get in warp, we'll check again, because it's 14.3 and this is 14.49, so we're sort of just outside. Still nothing I would say is running it, so this is good. All right, turn our hardeners on so we don't forget. Again, we are stable. We're going to take our starvings first. And yeah, so if there's something you want to tend to do for money. Now, the nice thing for Malro, about this fit is we also do make Praxis fits for all the invasion sites if we can. That's something our guys work on pretty diligently, is to have Nubro-friendly fits for even the emerging sites. So you could join Ash's fleets, and there's lots of good ISK in there as well. It won't be long before you're buying your own ships. And then from here, there's options for... come on. Warp within 70. We don't need to get really, really close because we're not doing the Vindicator. So this is also nice because you don't have to train ship skills for this. So while you're doing the tutorial, you can train whatever skills you need. Realistically, you can start any character because all the base skills you need mostly come from the skill plan. Kaldari is probably the best because you're going to start with some shield tanking base skills, but the early ones aren't that hard to train to begin with. I don't need to move. I just did the... I'm going to drop this. I'm going to wait for them to apply some damage before I pop up my shields, because we have some pretty good resistance. This is a light wave, so we can save some cap that way. We're going to save some weights for some locking here. Starving Rasnaborgs, go get them. And we'll put missiles on it too. All right, so here we are, and you can see this is a really super light wave. We're not taking much for damage, so we'll wait. Peak recharge is about 50%, so that's kind of where your most effective is. And the nice... oh, drones didn't change for some reason. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to shrink this in again. You guys don't need to see that. You can see local. We'll make up some more real estate here. That's probably good. We can start recharging. So you can see my drones do a lot more damage than my missiles, obviously, by 3 times. And yeah, we should be able to just sit here once this newt is gone and just face tank the room. You can manage your tank. It's a good habit to get into. And yeah, so because you don't have to train bouncing all over the place. So since you don't have to train ship skills, you don't have to train your hull skills for these sites. You can get in the Praxis, you can start making ISK while you train for whatever ships you actually want to fly. There's ways to speed up this 9-day train. You can use the daily alpha injector. you can easily make enough running these sites to make a daily alpha injector per day. I'll show you this. I don't know what they're on the market. We'll look it up after. But yeah, so you can do a day one. So if you do have some ISK and want to run this, you could easily just make an alpha. Say you have a null set character or a low set character and a bunch of ISK. Just make this day one character, skip the tutorial, and come fly with us with this Praxis. The other option is, again, do the tutorial and just sort of add the skills as you need them. So one of the options I have that I would like to think about doing, and I'd like to know if you guys want to see that, is a new alpha series. Now I know CCP is working on the new player experience, so I would like to wait until the next... Oops, I should have reloaded between waves and let the drones do the business, but it's all drones anyway. We don't really care. We're going to take out these next, work our way down, but we want him off the field. Anyway, so I'd like to do a new alpha series where I take a new alpha, I go through the tutorial, I kind of train the skills, and I work up to buying them the Praxis. I would maybe or maybe not take advantage of the free alpha Praxis from Malro, but the idea would be to do a fresh character, getting them into emergings, and then from there moving that fit into going to invasion fleets in the Praxis to start. And again, I think for alphas, especially in the beginning, the Praxis is definitely the way to go. So you can see we're permatanking. Once this thing dies, we're still above the 40%, and you can see this is our peak regen at about 25%. So, no, focus fire, please. Don't split up. Let's make sure that's changed. Focus fire. We do want to watch these to make sure they're not dying. There's our missiles. We'll make sure we keep those out there just for the extra speed. And again, not the fastest thing in the world, but as a day one alpha, this is a completely free character. The only thing I used, and again, the two skills, the one skill that doesn't fit in the million is the one he's training right now, which he doesn't have, so it doesn't affect anything, and it wouldn't affect this fit as it is. So otherwise, this is a completely alpha character. Day one, I used my buddy code to create the character, which gave me a free million SP, and used that to inject the skills to get into this ship. So anybody can do this, and I mean, it's not very skill intensive so far, as you can see. We're just sitting here, letting the ship do its work. It's easily tanking. I'm actually just gonna, again, good practice to get into cap management, teaches you to remember to watch for things. But yeah, we can just sit here, we can grind this up. I'd like to see the big wave. I'd like to see the 3 Rasnaborg Kikimoras in the final wave. The first 2 waves don't really matter. There's not a whole lot they can do. It's that final wave. I'd like to see this against the big. So we're gonna start shield boosting. You can see even one cycle really puts a dent in this, because we are using an extra large and a dead space extra large booster and have 70% resist, so we get a pretty good chunk of let's get the harrowing, not that it matters. So just managing our CPU. What we do is, once this guy's dying, I'll reload this probably now, just so we have the maximum DPS on the Zoria's Vedmak, excuse me. And yeah, from here, I would train, like I'm training the CPU skill. I would train his salvaging skill, if that's what you want to go, but I typically don't salvage anymore. So mine would be starting to focus on missile skills, or whatever gun system I want to use in the emerging conduits. There are a lot of missile fits, but there's some other stuff too. So at this point, I can use any gun system. So realistically, I could have started as Galente. The only problem is now you're going to be trading your shield skills, which is still possible, because most of them are pretty cheap. You may have to spend a couple days or a daily alpha injector training some of the lower end shield skills. But you can even see in the plan, like shield operation, shield compensation 1 is in there already. So maybe if I do a series, I would start as a different race. So maybe put in your comments down below what race you'd like to see me start as. What I might do is I'll also look at the alpha emerging invasion fits. Let's recall the drones for a second so they don't get eaten here, because there's that initial rash of drones getting aggroed. We'll just kind of wait for everything to go red, and then we'll bring the drones back out, because that is our DPS. But yeah, maybe let me know, but I'll also take a look at the gun systems that may play into it. If it's lots of missiles, I'll do a Kildari. If it's it won't be drones, because drones are kind of nerfed in the invasion sites, because the okay, that should be fine. The starvings and stuff don't matter, and we'll just start locking everything up. We want these starvings for sure. We're gonna make this a little bigger. I like to be able to see at least the color of the text here, so I know what they're doing. So you can see, I can see the red of the F. It'd be nice if we could like FNH. We could like put an abbreviation mode on. That'd be actually kind of nice. Okay, everything's on us. The tank is holding solid. We got to get that starving down next, because we are below. Well, no, we're still pretty good. It's still holding. Even under starving. It is holding. Under 1 starving. We didn't get the big spawn. We got 1 Rasnaborg Kiki, so we're going to drop this Tangling since we don't move anyway. And if this is actually holding, I might take out that Kiki first because it's more dangerous. Yeah, we're doing alright. We're losing like a oh, hey. See? Stupid drones weren't focused fired even though I had them on focus fire. The star missiles, and that's again, this is why I like the idea of the drones. The guns honestly don't really matter. You could really focus, get into T2 drones, and then just put all salvagers on it. You could put a different gun system on there if you want. So if you do start with a Mar, that would be a little harder because the Mar uses a capacitor-based weapon, so you'd have a little more problem with stability, but you could technically laser it up. Mimitar might be good. You could put projectiles on there. They'd have problems tracking, and again, but if you focus on the drones, then the gun doesn't really matter. Getting these to Tech 2 would help with the damage. And Alphas can fly Tech 2 medium drones, so that's super nice. We could up them to heavies, but we don't have a web, so I'd be really worried about tracking with the heavies. But yeah, this is a really good starting fit. Like that's the whole point. This is your day 1, and then from there, talk to people, figure out where you want to go. There's lots of good help. We have all the sorts of fits. This will be available as well for Malrovians. It'll be in the fitting window. I'll make sure it's there, so you can just look up the Praxis. You can type emerging, and it should show up in there somewhere. It's going to be under Alpha Mark II. It's the second variant. The first variant ended up escalating in price before I could fly it, so Phoenix was nice enough to make another 100 mil cheaper fit because it increased the price of the first one by about 200 million. Because some of the modules went up in price. So we'll put both fits in there, and then as the market fluctuates, we can bounce around. Both are very similar in scope and design. So if you do use this ship and it works, pop onto our Discord. If you're not in Malro already, pop on the Discord and say thanks to Phoenix. He's one of our fitting gurus. We have a few of them. Alright. So we're just going to finish up this site. And as you can see, it does take a little while. I'll probably try to remember to I'll just put a timer in for fun in post to see how long it actually takes. So we'll see in post. It's probably going to be about 12 minutes. Maybe a little longer, 15. And it'll get faster as your skills get better. You train into, medium drones 5 will give you another, 2% increase in DPS. And now with the missiles, we're just going to follow the drones. And we're over-repping, so we can go ahead now. And we should probably take out this guy next. Just because it is the most dangerous, but he's probably fully ramped now. It'd be cool if we could see. I mean, it'd be kind of lame as well, but it'd be nice if we could see the ramped damage in here somewhere. But, yeah. Go here. They were actually going after this renewing. You can see all the wrecks. They get pulled right in nice and close. We could just suck. We could be sitting here. We're going to go ahead and wrap. I need to reset my alarm. Let's do that right now. So if we go to this little hamburger menu and you go to ship health, I'm going to remember to recharge shields at 50%. So you just slide this, and this changes where the alarm is. Hull alert, we want that as soon as we're in hull. Armor, I like to have it here for me. I know it makes a lot more buzzes, but if I'm armor fit and I'm not pre-repping, I'd like to remember where my words are. So there. Now if we stop repping, and we'll listen to it, it'll alarm us at 50% instead of 25%. With the shields, it's nice because as soon as you click it, you get a boost. But with armor, you have to wait till the end of the cycle, so I like to learn a little bit earlier, here a little bit earlier when I need to boost the armor. Not that it matters for this guy, because he probably will never now fly an armor fit. Cursed can fly both. He's my main alpha. He's full. He's got more skill points than the 5 million. But I try not to use him for these. So let's listen for the alarm. One more hit. Oh, better charge my shields. There we go. That's much better. Alright. Missiles are reloading. We're going to grind through here. So this is good. It does work. Like, it just full tanks the room. There's no problem, and I don't see it being an issue. You don't. If you have multiple, I'd like to get one with multiple starvings and see how bad it is on the cap. You could take down one of them and then switch to the DPSers, the Rasnaborgs. The DPS Rasnaborgs, I know this is a Harrowing Rasnaborg Damavik. If it doesn't have a thing before it, if it's just Rasnaborg, that's DPS. So your Rasnaborg Damaviks, the Rasnaborg Kikis are probably more dangerous than the Vedmak in the final wave, because they can. Especially when they spawn 3 of them, because they ramp up ramp up a little faster than the Vedmak, and I think between the 3 of them they do a fair bit more DPS. But I like to kill that guy first to get the loot in the bin. We're not likely to see much for loot, so let's see what we got. So you can see here, there's another 20 million. So that's 25 million for this site. So at that rate, 2.5 sites will pay for a daily alpha injector. I think. We'll take a look. I haven't actually looked at one in a while. There's the site clean. So let's recall our drones first. Is there any more loot? There's no more loot. Scoop this. And we are actually just reload this. And we are ready for the next site. If we don't salvage, we can just wait. It spawns, move on to the next site and run it. This one hasn't even despawned yet. All right. But we're not going to do that. That's the fit. It's that simple. All right. So let's look at the price of... not that one. This one. And we're looking at the alpha skill. Daily, I think it's called. Daily alpha injector. So, oh, look at that. If we go to JITA, they're 40 million. So 2 sites pays for an alpha injector. What do alpha injectors do? Daily alpha injector. So you get 50,000 unallocated skill points. So this triples. I think an average alpha with no implants gets 25,000 a day. This gives you double that. I think it's 25,000. It was a long time ago since I did the research. But yeah, so you get 50,000 skill points to put wherever you want. You can do it once per day. But yeah, it's a good way to start. So this is if you're Malro, you can, as long as the program works out, people don't steal the ships, as long as they get put back, you can join Malro and use the free one on a day 1 alpha, or you can go through the tutorial and build up to the 5 million. It's the 500 million is a lot. It's a bit. It'll take a while to get there for an alpha. But we can make some other things going as well. There's some other ways to earn that ISK pretty quick. You can get into a cheap battlecruiser pretty quickly and get some friends and run the sites, join emerging fleets. But yeah, so that's it. The emerging Praxis. This is the Malro emerging Praxis Mark II. Seen in action. Obviously works like a dream. So that is beautiful. No problems whatsoever. I'm going to head home and I will close the video out once we're there. So stand by. All right, and there we are, safely docked up back at home. So once again, nice little fit. This is thank Phoenix Asgold, or however you want to pronounce his last name. Thank you very much, my friend, and I hope a lot of alphas and a lot of new bros get some good use out of this. If you like that style of video, let me know. If you'd like to see me do a series on the channel after the next, say, new player experience update, going from a fresh alpha to this Praxis, going through the tutorial and whatever else I decide to do, missions or exploration or something, let me know. Give this video a thumbs up. That'll show me that we want to see more like this. And if we hit 40 likes, I will definitely do the new alpha from 0 to Praxis type video. But that's going to be it. I have created a Dropbox or a Google Drive to share out on the channel with anything that I share for the channel. Right now it's got the skill plans. I will make sure this fit is there as well in PYFA format for those that want it, although it's easy enough just to copy and paste that one. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, if you want to take a look at Malro and join them, come take a look at our website. You'll find a link to our Discord there. Speak to a recruiter and they'll get you all the information you can get you on your way. If you want to talk to me directly in a little longer format than YouTube chat usually allows, you can hit me up on my personal Discord. I don't mind DMs there, or you can just drop the message right in the public chat for everybody to talk about, or shoot me a message on Twitter. I try to look at that at least once a day. But that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. As always, take care of each other, and I'm out of here. Bye.